What is up guys, Tucker here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Fenriloogamon deck. It's already doing a lot of, getting a lot of results in the Japanese format right now, so this is a really good deck. So let's go right into the Deco File. So we're running 4 of the Bowmons for the Digitamas. Whenever you trash a card from your hand, if it's a Dark Animal or SOC trait card, you'll be able to Digivolve into that card for its by fulfilling those requirements. So there's other cards in this deck that discard, so you can go into any stage pretty easily. So it's very good. Next, for the level 6s, we're running 4 of the Fenriloogamons. So this is the new boss monster for the deck. And on evolution, you can play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon with Dark Animal or SOC in its traits from your trash without paying its cost. And then if you have AG in this card's source, you can increase the maximum number of this by 2, so you can potentially swarm your board, which is really good. And on attacking, by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, you can unsuspend this card, and then for each of your Digimon on your board, you can increase the level by 1. And then on your turn, you'll also be able to extend your turn by not ending your turn at 1 memory. Your opponent only starts a turn when they have 3 or more. So this is one of the really unique skills I was talking about. It's very interesting. It's not always good though. Sometimes it is a double-edged sword. So sometimes you can't memory deny as well as you can, and you're kind of giving them like a free memory setter. But I still think it's a still really strong card. But be careful, you know, sometimes if you give them 3 memory, your opponent might be able to swing the game back in their favor. So yeah. Next, we're running 1 of the Digimon. So this is just here to play against decks that go wide, or you know, in mirror matches. This is also really good. So we're running 1 of those. I've also seen people play the Shine Greymon Rune mode. That's also an option. But I think I personally like Digimon a little bit more in this format. But they kind of do the same thing. Shine Greymon also works well against deck that goes wide, so it's up to you guys. Next, for the level 5s, we're running 4 of the Fenriloogamon. So on evolution, you'll be able to play a Dark Animal or SOC level 3 or below card without paying its cost, and then if you have AG in this card's source, you can be able to increase the level by 1. And on attack, you can ditch a card and you can get 1 memory. So the evolution line just kind of works with itself, so it's really good. And the inherent skill is whenever a Dark Animal or SOC card is placed, you can make this card active again. So your Fenriloogamon can potentially unsuspend twice, which is really good. So there is that. Next, for the other level 5s, we're running 1 Chimeramon, which is here for kind of your last attacks and whatnot. And we're also running 3 Fenriloogamon. This card is used to filter. It's mainly used to filter. It's also got some decent removal. So at the end of your turn, you can delete this Digimon to draw 2 cards, and then you can add a Loogamon back to your hand. And then when this card's deleted, you can ditch up to 3 Dark Animal or SOC cards from your hand to delete a level 3 or lower Digimon on your opponent's field. And then for every card you discard, you can increase the level by 1. So what you want to do is you can ditch all your toolbox cards that you want to use in your trash for this one, and then you'll be able to set up for game. So what I mean by toolbox cards is a lot of cards in this deck, like the Black Gatomon, the Dobermon, and Fastgomon and whatnot. These are here to help you out by being played from the trash. So ideally you want to draw into the Loogamon line so that when you attack and whatnot, you can discard them and then digi up into them. But whenever you just evolve, you'll be able to play Dark Beasts from your trash, right? So you want to be able to play some really useful ones that you can attack with and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of the main idea for the deck. So a lot of cards in here are here to either help you speed up your trash or help you discard so that you can proc the effects. So Next, we're running 4 of the Loogamon from BT-14. On attack, you can discard from your hand, and then you can draw one. And then if you have AG in the source, you can get 1 memory back. And you'll be able to, inherit skill is whenever you play a dark animal or SOC, you can get 1 memory back. So, helps you with extending your plays as well, so pretty good. Next, we're running 3 Fangmons. So Fangmon activates on play and when attack, so this potentially can also be used for the either in your toolbox for trash, or you can use this as one of your evolutions if you don't have the main Loogamon. This is still a pretty good option. So on evolution, you can grab a dark beast, a dark animal, back to your hand, and then you can choose a card from your hand and discard it. So you can kind of reuse your combo pieces if you want. So it's pretty good. I quite like it. We're also running 3 of the Black Gatomons. So this card is kind of important, so we're running this at 3. 4 is a little bit too much because we do want to save space from some other stuff, but if you do want to run 4, I guess you can cut a Fangmon out for another Black Gatomon, but having too many of these in your hand is also not good because you get clogged, and sometimes you are forced to digivolve into this for 3 memory, which is not good. So yeah, running 3 Black Gatomon. This is mainly used for the rush, and then you can use this to DNA digivolve into the Chimeramon afterwards. So pretty solid. Next, we're running 1 Dobermon. This is here as a kind of like experimentation, because he gets to mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can retrieve a Tamer or a purple Digimon back to your hand. So I think it has its uses, but this is a filler slot. You can kind of swap this out for other things if you want. If you want to run 4 Fangmons, that's perfectly fine. If you want to use this and turn it into another Chimeramon, that's perfectly fine as well. So next, let's go over the level 3s. We're running 4 of the Loogamons from BT-14. This is the new SR that we got. At the beginning of your main phase, you can choose a AG from your hand or trash and put it under this card's source, and you can get 1 memory back. And then the inherit skill is whenever you play a dark animal or SOC, you can get 1 memory. So it's a pretty solid card. Another card that you really need in your starting hand, or you want to filter to get as soon as possible, is AG, because you do want to get that memory and you want to get the bonuses for the rest of the line. So yeah, pretty important. One of the cards that can help you do that is Gabumon. So I think this is the next best option to digivolve into if you don't have the Loogamon in your hand. So at the beginning of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, you can get 1 memory back, so this helps you extend your turns. And then the inherit skill is draw 1 and then discard 1. So this helps with both Bowmon and filtering your hand. So if you get some useless pieces, you can ditch them, and you'll still be able to get your level 4 discards off. So if you don't get the piece you need, you can kind of do it twice. So I think Gabumon is pretty useful for that. Next, for the other level 3s, we're running 2 of the Dracomon from BT9. This is the Searcher. This deck doesn't actually have its own Searcher, so we're running the Searcher from BT9. On play, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can grab a Undead Beast or a Dark Animal to your hand, and then you can discard a card, and then you put the rest to the bottom. So top 3, add 1 to your hand, discard 1 of them, and then the rest to the bottom. So it has a little bit more utility than a regular Searcher, because you can potentially, if you search for the Black Gatomon, you can ditch that as well, and then grab your combo pieces to your hand. So I think Dracomon is pretty good, but we're not running at 4 because we're also running 2 Phascomon, which is used as your blocker. It is a dark animal, so I think it has its uses in a format right now that has a lot of decks that go wide. You want to be able to block at least one of those attacks so they can extend your life for a little bit. And yeah, I think it's pretty decent. But if you don't want to run these, you can run 4 Dracomon instead. But having some sort of blocker is pretty good. Although AG does give your Fenriloogamon blocker as well, so you'll be able to block at least 2 attacks if you can't finish for game. Next for the tamers, we're running 4 AGs. So it activates, regular security effect. If you check this as security, you can play this. And then at the beginning of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon on the board, you can get 1 memory. And during the main phase, you can mind link this to a SOC or a dark animal. And as it inherits scores, it's got a bunch of skills as well. So if this is mind linked, or if this is underneath the source of a dark animal or SOC, this card gets Alliance as well as Blocker. So that's pretty good. And at the end of each player's turn, you can play this card back to the field. So you can potentially use this to get your extra memory if your opponent has a Digimon on the board. So I think he's pretty decent. Next, the other team we're running is actually Analog Boy or Analog Shonen. So on play, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then add 1 and then trash the rest. So obviously that's very good for this deck. Helps you search pieces and then you can ditch the rest that you don't need. So you can fill your toolbox. And then on both players' turn, whenever a level 5 or above Digimon is, whenever one of your own level 5 or above Digimon is deleted, you can rest this tamer to get 1 memory back, and then you can hatch a Tama. So you can use this to potentially cut your opponent's turn if they kill your Fenriloogamon or use your Fenriloogamon as blocker. It also works with your Fenriloogamon. Attack with this, and at the end of the turn, pop it, do your thing, get your Loogamon back, and then if you have these on the board, you can rest them, hatch a Tama, get memory, and you can potentially move it back to your turn, so you can set up for another Fenriloogamon or another more Digimon on the raising area, so you can use it in the next turn. So it's very good. Next for the options, we're running 4 of the training cards. So this, search for any purple, top 2, grab a purple card, and then put the rest at the bottom, put this in the battle area, and then your next, for the delay, you can use the effect to reduce the evolution by 2. So this is good because you can search for AG, which the purple memory boost cannot do. So being able to search for AG is huge. It's also 2 costs, and with a lot of this deck is very memory efficient. So you'll be able to, do a lot of things with the extra 2 memory that you get for this card. And last but not least, we are running 2 of the Mist memory boost. This helps you mill your deck, mill top 2, draw 1. And then delay is just to get 2 memory back. We're running this just because, again, it helps you fuel your toolbox, and the extra memory does help a bit as well. But if you don't want to run this, that's perfectly fine as well. I just think it's pretty good early game to have, because by playing this and going to your next turn, you have 2 extra memory to use, which you can either use to use the training, analog shonen, analog shonen, and then you can do just keep getting more memory. So it's really good. And that is pretty much it for this deck, guys. Again, this is obviously not the only build that you can do with this deck. There's a lot of space that you can kind of play around with. I already give you guys a few pointers on what you guys can swap out if you guys like. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to use the affiliate links down below. But yeah, I haven't done a deck profile in a while. I think the last one we did was the Digimon deck. I actually recorded that quite a while ago, but I haven't had time to post it. But yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more Digimon content. This is Karutaku, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!